such a good boy.
Say, hi, I'm Thumper. Welcome to my mommy's quilting channel. Really? That's all you gotta say? It's Sunday. So Sunday. Meow, 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 meow. No? That's it? You're just staring at the camera? You're like, hi, these people. Okay, go.
Okay, go.
Hi guys, Tiffany here. Welcome to my quilting life. Oh wait, Thumper just said that, so did I really need to announce myself? We're here just a couple minutes early because Thumper wanted to say hi, and we're just sitting here. That's the one thing about live streaming. Maybe I should come in here 10 minutes later, then start getting things ready, and then I would be, on exact time. But no, I'm early.
Well, normally you are late. Lately you've been early.
All right, let's just see who's here today. Star, Georgie, Katie, Norma, Frank, Susan, Jacqueline, Lilac, Frock, I think that's how that's said. Polly, Lilac, did I say that? I probably did. Sharon, Barbara, Kim, MJ, Sherry, Donna, Bren, Joyce, Linda, Karen, Melody, Diana, Candy, Judy, Susan, Paula, Lori, Barbara, Melena, and so many more. If I missed you, hello and welcome. It's a hot one today. It's a scorcher outside. Well, not really. It was hotter yesterday. Today's only like 115 right now, according to my phone. But yesterday was 119, according to my phone. So that means it was probably hotter because the phone is never right. Oh, yeah. Oh, according to the TV, it was 120. So anyway, so today I'm still working on the quilt that I worked on last week and the week before. And guess what? I named it Geese Gone Wild. Perfect name, Geese Gone Wild. Because when you look at this thing, you're going to see that the geese have gone wild. And yes, I did go ahead and put the whole thing together, but I didn't trim it. Like I said I'd save the how to trim to this week. And then whatever I'm going to do from there, I will do today. So let's take a look at this thing. Right now it is 80 inches tall by, at the shortest, like 88 wide. And that's just in the position that I want it to lay. As in I want the jelly rolls and the Geese Gone Wild to go up and down, not side to side. So right now it's 80 inches tall and I can make it 80 wide or however I want to do it. But let's take a look at this thing. And you'll understand why I named it Geese Gone Wild. Because the geese have really gone wild. So both halves are together. Yay. And then there's some strips in between every couple. I think that's every 6 or something like that. No, it's fine. I'm trying to get it up high enough for everybody to see. So you can see it's quite large, and the ends now need to be straightened out. There we go. So the ends have to be straightened out. They're just a little on the wonky side, and I don't want to quilt it this way because what's the point of all this hanging off? So what I'm going to do is find the shortest one and trim this side to that short one, and then I'm going to go ahead and do the same exact thing on this side, find the shortest one, and trim the whole side to that shortest one. So that's what we're going to start with, is finding that shortest strip. And so far, just by looking at it, it's this one. Just by looking at it, yep, it's this one right here. So this is my starting point right here. I'm literally going to lay this on my table. And what we're going to do is take a ruler, and I'm going to lay it using the markings on the ruler and my strips, because these are just strips. So they should be straight, connecting each other, right? That's the goal, is to have, I have hair just hanging on me and it's driving me nuts. Do any of you have that problem where your hair just falls out crazy all the time and it ends up on your clothes and just a little piece of it touches you and you like go like this and you're like, where is that darn hair? I'm telling you, that's me.
I don't have that issue.
Scott don't have that issue because he is bald. Man, sometimes I wish I was bald too, but you know, then I wouldn't have this hair problem. Anyway, so we're going to take a ruler that has markings on it.
I guess we could shave your head.
I'm not shaving my head.
I'm doing that. No,
No.
I'm going to shave your head too.
I'm going to use the markings on the ruler, and I'm going to use the seams as my straight line. And I'm going to line up a seam, and I'm going to line up the other seam and line up some more seams just as a guide. And I'm actually just going to go ahead and cut right here, just like that. See, I made a cut. Now I'm going to slide it back down this way to start. And I am,
big long ruler there.
because I want to use this one because these have black lines and this is black, so I won't be able to see it. He just asked me, why am I not using this ruler, my Quilter Select ruler? And that's because it has black lines, and I cannot see those black lines on the fabric because it's black.
That one's long too, isn't it?
This one's long, but it has no lines or markings on it. So there's nothing to make it straight.
Okay.
So I'm just using a straight ruler that has markings that I can see the black lines through. So I'm going to go ahead now and re-line up a line, as well as this side that I just cut and, you know, moved out of the way just a little bit. I'm going to finish making sure everything else is lined up. So this line is good. This line is good. This one is kind of sideways. There we go. Right there. Everything looks good. Make another cut. Again, sliding it out of the way. Come back down some more. I'm going to finish the rest of this side. So I'm again, line up the ruler, line it up here, line it up on this line, line it up on however many lines I need to line it up on. A little bit of crookedness right here.
Can you add a little bit more to your shorter one and make it bigger?
I could have if I wanted to, but I'm just trimming all this off. And I use my scraps, so I technically am really not wasting anything because I'll use that for something else. But yes, if you wanted to make it longer and make them all the same size, then your initial construction of this, make all your side units exactly the same size when you hook them on. Then all of your units would have been the same size. But I tapered mine so that they're a mess. I wanted it to be wild. So that is why mine is wild. All right, now I'm going to line up, I scooped it this way, the bottom right here on this cut and that line. And then I'm going to go ahead and line all the rest of these lines up now. Making a cut, sliding it down. Just lining up the ruler on my previous cut. Same as trimming a quilt when you're, you know, done and it's been quilted and you're trimming everything up. This is the same process, but this time I'm just using the markings to do it. And it's nice to be able to have a bigger table or cutting mat to do stuff like this with these bigger quilts. So I'm going to line up right here. I'm going to make sure all these are lined up. It is, it is, it is, and it is. And then just slide it up. This whole thing is nice and straight. It looks like this is straight. And, oops. Now that is straight. And then here's my cutoff. Of course, I do have bigger pieces on here. But guess what? I can use this for something. I don't know what, but I will use it. At its lowest points, I'll chop those pieces off. And at its highest point, you know, like right here. This is where I started. If you just pull it, it rips off. And now I have two really long pieces that I will use for something because I don't waste nothing.
Your first video of this was what, 2 Sundays ago?
Yeah, first video was 2 Sundays ago. Now I'm just going to turn it to this side, find its shortest one, and do that same exact thing. Look at them all. So far, that's really short. Ooh, nope, these are short. So if my shortest ones are down here, I guess I'll just start down here. Yep. That's these two.
That looks like your, yeah.
These two are the shortest right here.
First one's a little shorter. Looks like
Actually, they're almost the same.
Oh, okay.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and do that same procedure. I'm lining up the ruler on all these lines. I'm going to make a cut and pull it away a little bit. I'm going to slide it down this way first. Lining up that ruler on this line, that line, this line, every single line that I could possibly line it up on. How many times can I say the word line in one video?
How do you know your geese are centered?
My geese are not centered. My geese are everywhere. They are highly gone wild. Just going to rip that off so that it's not in my way. And yes, this was fully pressed first. There, right there. That good, looks good. Make that cut, slide it down. I could have used a longer ruler with markings, but.
She means your center pattern.
Oh, because it's in between the two pieces that are connected. That's how you know. So I'll show you in 2 seconds. Let me trim this though. There. Oops, there.
How long have you been quilting?
I have been quilting for 7 years. And long arm quilting for 6 years. All right. So my two sides are now nice and straight, and I definitely, because I just cut that, don't want to pull or tug on this stuff at all, because I'm going to put a border piece on it. But this is how you know your geese are not straight, because you just asked how you know they're straight. They're not. They are tapered side to side. That's why I cut the sides off like I did, is because I tapered all my pieces when I was inserting. So the geese are in between 1, 2, and 3 jelly roll pieces of the same color. But you can do scrappy if you want. Any color you want. So that's how you know. You just kind of and taper them back and forth, side to side. So there's that. Now that this side can come apart at any time, I'm going to take those pieces that we had last week, those 2-inch strips that we cut to go in between. I'm going to take 2 of those. They're supposed to be 2 for the sides and for the top and bottom, but I think I'm going to go ahead and null and void the top and bottom and put 5-inch strips on those, because that's what I feel like doing, a bigger top and bottom. I'm going to guess that this quilt is now, I don't know by I don't know size. Doesn't that sound fun? When we don't know. I'm going to put the sides on first, and then I'll determine how much more I want to add to the top and bottom. So for now, I'm going to go ahead and make sure that these are right sides together by finding those seams. There we go. And I'm going to seal the sides off with more black. Why? Because I can. All right, that's good stitch right there. Oh, it wouldn't be nice if my seam guide was at 1/4 inch. All right, here we go. And I'm not going to pull or tug on anything, because I definitely do not want these sides to come apart now that I've I purposely cut those seams so those stitches can just be popped. If you wanted to tear, you could tear right now and it would open right up. So I'm just going to let the machine pull it through.
What batting will you use?
I will probably use a cotton or an 80/20, because that's what I have. I would love if I had black, but you know how hard it is to find black batting by the roll? It's extremely hard. So I've been using 80/20, like white cotton and or an off-white cotton and our off-white 80/20. And I'm not really having a problem with any of the quilts with the batting popping through on the black, because I have a lot of black quilts, but it's best with dark quilts like this to use black batting if you can find it somewhere, anywhere. I'm being very careful about this. You could pin it on, but I'm not pinning. I'm not pinning nothing. Nothing at all.
Okay, the one that keeps asking about the flying geese being centered. She says, I get that, but about the edge, how do you know they're equal, the black part of each side?
You mean when you're squaring it up? You don't have to square it up. It was a 4.5-inch black piece. The flying geese was made with a 4.5 by 2.5-inch piece, and then I just attached the two sides on it at the diagonal so that it became a flying geese unit. And it should come out, you know, looking like this every time because you used a really long piece. There's really no squaring that up, unlike other flying geese units. But yeah, it just is that. I don't know how to explain that one. Stay. And I'm using black thread. Some of this project has black top thread and like green or pink or white bottom thread, but that's only because I'm trying to use up my bobbins. But now we're back to black.
Never even knew there was black batting.
Oh yeah, there's black batting, yes. Yep. Huh? Yeah, we're having a hard time trying to find it in bulk. I don't want to buy prepackaged black batting because I make quilts with the color black or the absence of color black or the most of color all in one to make black. However you want to call the color black. I use black fabric, I would say 85% of the time when making quilts because it goes with everything and it makes especially quilts with batiks, it makes everything pop. Like you just see black. The color comes out at you because black just kind of falls to the back. So black is like my most go-to color. Therefore, I need black batting. But every time we've found a roll for a good, decent price that's not overly priced, either they're sold out or it's not restocked back in or something and we can't get it. And I don't want to buy prepackaged because I'm a long arm quilter, so I cut for the long arm, I use big rolls. So if I buy prepackaged, I'm actually not saving any money. I'm actually spending way more money. So yeah, we're having a hard time finding it by the roll. All right, so I'm right here at the top. I'm just going to go ahead and cut this to size. And again, all my excess fabric that I have used here of the 4 yards that I started with, I will use on something else. Like this is a 2-inch strip, so I will subcut this into 2-inch squares and put it in my 2-inch square bin because that's what I do. And I'm making quite the stack of all this stuff. All right, one side on. I'm going to go ahead and flip it without tugging or pulling on anything because I definitely don't want these to come undone. And I don't want to like purposely rip it so that you guys could see how easily these will rip open, but. And then we'll press it and see how big it is to deter, like the length, which would be the width technically, to see how big it is to determine how much I want to add to the top and bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and put this side on now.
So did you explain how you made the outside black surroundings on the same way?
The outside pieces were all the same length. They were just a jelly roll strip or a 2.5-inch strip by width of fabric cut on the fold. Half went on one side and half went on the other side. When I joined the rows together to create this look right here, where it goes up and down, tapered like that, when I joined them together, one was like 2 inches down. The next one was like 3 inches down. Then I went back up to like only a half an inch down. Like I just tapered them from side to side. That's where this looks like it does like this, because as you can see, I tapered them. So I used, only 16 inches of it that way and only 3, you know what I mean? Like, that's probably too much because, yeah, but you get where I'm going here. Yeah, you'll have to watch the last 2 videos, last week and the week before, part 2 and part 1. I know I parted them, and then in the description of the videos has the links to, except for this one because we'll add after the video, but this one will be linked to the other ones, and all 3, or all the other 2 will be linked in this one. In the description below.
How did you start your channel? Just an idea and record, or did it take more?
How did I start my channel?
Just an idea and record, or did it take more?
I recovered my wheelchair. Actually, my channel started years ago, many, many, many years ago, because my family wanted to see video of the kids, and you still can't send a video via email. You can't do that unless you use like a downloading service, but all those years ago, they didn't have those things. So I was trying to find a way to show the family, because you can't send it in a text message, and a long time ago, Facebook Messenger, you couldn't send video footage either. So I was actually uploading the videos to YouTube privately of my children growing up and sending those private videos to my family members so that they can watch the kids and, see how big they gotten or whatever. So technically I've had a channel for a long, long, long time. It was just videos of my children. Then one day I was sewing and I was making a cover to my wheelchair. And I don't even remember what kid filmed it, but they came outside and held the camera, and I explained how I made my wheelchair cover and how to do it. And I recorded it and I stuck it on YouTube, and a lot of people watched it. And I was like, oh, wow, that's weird. And back then, when I first started my YouTube channel after that video was being watched, I decided to start going live. And it was almost just like, do you guys remember back a long time ago when the world of chatting was available and you can chat with people on Yahoo, like a chat type thing? Well, it was almost like that for me. I was like, oh, well, I have other quilters I can talk to in the middle of the night. So that became a thing, and I just started going on and chatting with people, and then it started me teaching, and then, yeah, everything went from there. So it kind of just came to be. It wasn't a planned channel. And you know what? All these years later, it's still not planned. I just have one day of the week that I do the same thing. One day of the week, every Sunday, where I continuously teach you guys something new. And then whenever I feel like it, I make a video. And now I edit, and now I do all sorts of other things. But yeah, it really wasn't, it was just meant for me to expand my horizons and meet new people around the world. And it was fun, very fun, and it still is, but it was fun being able to I only had 5 people viewing back then. So, lots of late night conversations. They could see me, but I couldn't see them, and I was fine with that. And I was in my wheelchair anyway, so it was really hard for me to record anything. I was always moving the little camera mount thing that I had, or my tablet and stuff, and the video quality was absolutely horrid. So horrible. The lighting sucked because I was in my garage and it was hot out there because, I'd go out there even in the summertime at night, and yeah, it was not the best for having a YouTube channel, but then it started getting subscribers. And the only reason why I know my first subscriber is because it was my mom when I started uploading videos of my kids. So that's my first subscriber. But my biggest fan, other than Scott.
I was number 100.
Scott was my number 100.
Or was I 1,000?
No, I think you were 100.
I was either 100 or 1,000.
I don't know. He was one of those. 100 or 1,000th subscriber. Because he didn't have a YouTube. He didn't use YouTube, so he was never signed up to it.
Yeah.
So when he finally did, he subscribed to me, and he was exactly number either 100 or 1,000. I don't remember. Hi, Sherry from Ventura. And welcome everybody that's joining. Huh? Oh, okay. All right, so these sides are on. Scotty, could we have an iron?
Where do we buy our molded batting?
We buy our batting, depends. Sometimes Walmart.com because the shipping is free and they have sales or big deals, you know, and or Marshall Dry Goods. It depends on who's got it on sale and how much we want to pay for shipping because Marshall Dry Goods is always like $25 to ship a roll of batting. Whereas Walmart, you get that same size thing of batting, same brand even, and it's free shipping. So it just depends.
Is the black batting dyed? Does it bleed?
I have no idea. I've never been able to find it to use it. I've used black batting because it was in scraps that someone gave me before on small projects because I only had scraps of it, little cuts, but I've not used it on a big quilt. So I don't know if it fades out or anything. Can you plug the iron in, please? Yeah. But no, I have not used it, so I don't know if it bleeds, but how would you know if it bleeds anyway if you're using black fabric, so, or dark fabrics? I've not actually had a problem with bleeding fabrics either, if you guys really want to know. Only one quilt I have ever made with red fabric and white fabrics bled. That's it. Only one quilt, and it came out of the wash, and Scott was like, oh, it's pink. I was like, well, let's just throw some color catchers in it. And then we threw color catchers and washed it again, and it faded, and it looked almost white again in the white areas. But the red didn't get any duller. It was still as bright red as it could possibly be, but I've only had one experience of bleeding fabric, and it was red. Of all colors, it was red. I've never had a problem with black. But then I don't make black and white quilts to know. So, well, I do. I just don't wash them. There's one behind the camera, but I've never washed it, and I probably never will because it's a wall hanging.
What's the max RPM of your Juki?
1,500 stitches per minute is my Juki. Or something like that. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. And Scott put a link if you guys want to look up the Juki and its specs. And finger wood pressing first, only because I have no fingernail. It broke off like the rest of them all. I have spoon nails. I don't know if you guys know what that is. Where my fingernails, when they grow out too long, they curve under like this. And they were getting to the point where they were all ripping because the curve is so bad now. And so I just got rid of all my nails. Except for one, it literally ripped all the way up at the top where it hurts, you know. There goes me still waiting to be able to go get my nails done, but they haven't been all one length. Probably just going to have to go start with fake ones. I haven't had my nails done this year at all. At all whatsoever. They were so pretty and long. All right, now that this side is sealed, we'll press it, we'll get a measurement, and that's how I know how, I'm just gonna go real quick. That's how I will know how much to add on the top and bottom. Because I kind of want it to be super square. I want a square quilt, so. And this will be beyond the 4 original yards now, adding those. Because my original was to add these 2-inch pieces. But hey, I might still even add them. You never know. But I'm going for a complete square, like, 82 by 82 or whatever happens. I don't know what it's going to be because obviously we don't know. No, I'm on black only.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah.
Where'd you get your finger pressure? Tell them again.
My finger presser came from Quilt, TEAQUILTS. Scott put a link to her channel. Her website is tquilts.com, which you can find by going to her channel. Yes, I love my little wooden finger presser. Definitely makes the pressing part go faster when it's finger pressed back. this is going to be like perfect size. Okay.
Have you decided to tattoo your Juki yet?
No, I have not gotten stickers for it.
You are.
I am going to put stickers on it. I just don't know what stickers because the other one's been butterflies for the last, well, it's always going to be butterflies. It's that's been that way for 6 years, but I'm kind of thinking I want to do something not butterflies.
Did we find stickers at Walmart too?
Yeah, we found stickers at Walmart too, so I don't know. I don't know what I want to put on it yet. I was kind of thinking of skulls, sugar skulls or something, because I like sugar skulls, but I don't know yet. I don't know what I can fit. I got to make sure you know when you need to know how much space or room you have on your machine to even put the stickers on it. You know, I need to make sure I have enough room for certain size stickers. I definitely think I want to put Tiffany's Quilting Life on the back of it, so that way you guys read Tiffany's Quilting Life on the back of my machine. I think that would be cool. What? I don't know. It would have to fit right here. Tiffany's Quilting Life.
Can you get all that on there? The bigger than Juki letters? Look at my screen. You can't read that. It says Juki.
Oh.
You're too far away.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what I do with it. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and fold this in half now and get a measurement. This direction from black to black. I know the other way is 80, so right now. All right, Scott, can I have my measuring tape, please?
Have you done Sculliver yet?
I have not quilted Sculliver yet. Stay tuned. Someday it'll get done. That was another example of something I needed black batting for.
Your other Juki fixable?
My other Juki is fixed. It works. It just doesn't work the way I want it to. Well, nope. What is it?
45 and a quarter.
So 90
and
a half. So it's 90 and a half. Let's measure the other side in 2 seconds, but I need a pencil and a piece of paper.
How did Scott like his sewing?
Scott had fun with his sewing lesson. Fun-ish.
We had fun.
90. It's going to take a lot of convincing to get him to sew again.
Thumper was on the video.
Yeah. Thumper was here a little bit ago, but now he's hiding. When we first, in the beginning of the video today. Yeah, he was here in the beginning. All right, let's make sure this one is the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, 90 and a half. So 80. Let's make sure that this is 80 one more time the other way. And then we'll make our borders for the top and bottom so that way it becomes 90 and a half by 90 and a half. From here to here should be 80. Oh, it's short.
Right at 39, but a little under. It's like 38 and 3/4. So that's 77 and...
Hold on, I'm gonna measure the other side. I'm actually measuring all 4 sides, guys. Is this not something Tiffany really ever does? Yeah, it's not something I really ever do. But I kind of want it to be a square, so. All right, one more time.
That's a little bit more, but pretty much 38 3/4.
Okay. So we need 5 1/4 inches on both sides, right?
Or what?
To be this 90. What did you say it was? 70.
38
9
3/4 times 2 is
so
76 and a half. No, 77 and a half. Sorry, 77 and a half. And you want to make 90? So you need 12 and a half inches. So you want 6 on each side?
Yep, we're going to do 6 inches on both sides. All right, well, actually, I need this out of my way because I need a bolt of fabric. All right, I'm just going to toss those over there on the floor. All right, so this is just extra fabric, me adding. So this has nothing to do with the original 4 yards.
One lady loved it how you kept telling me to stop at each clip. I kept getting mad at
Oh, yeah. Well, we didn't want him to have a me sewing through fingers on camera.
you. Well, I ain't gonna do that.
So I was trying to prevent him from sewing not only the clips, but his fingers. And yes, everybody was also scared to see Scott holding the fabric and the rotary cutter right here. That was one of the biggest comments was everyone kept saying, I was so afraid for his fingers with that rotary cutter.
Oh, it was fine.
All right, so I'm going to cut 1, 2, 3, 4,
Well,
5.
if you make a mistake, if you make a quilt and it has a mistake in it, do you fix it or do you live with it?
If I make a quilt and it has a mistake, do I live with it or fix it? It depends on the mistake. If it's a big, noticeable mistake, I'm definitely fixing that. But if it's just a little thing like a half square triangle turned backwards or something in a tiny block that is mixed with 50 other blocks, I'm not going to care.
Well, technically, according to you, all your quilts have some sort of
Yeah.
mistake that you're not happy with. I don't think
Yeah.
they all look amazing.
All of my quilts are mistakes. Have mistakes. That sounded weird. Hi, Mom. All right, so I'm going to cut 5 6-inch strips for this. 6 and 5 is because I need 2.5 for one side, and well, I don't need 2.5, but I do need almost 2.5 because it's 90 and fabric's only 44, so we have to add to it, unfortunately. So 6 and 6 is 12.
Did you know that you can oil the walking foot?
Someone told me you can.
Yes, this lady found that out too because she said that you're always saying how loud it is. She said
Oh.
you can actually oil the foot. So no, we didn't know that.
Yeah.
I guess we ought to do that.
6 is 18.
They need to be 6.5.
No, 6. Isn't that what the goal was? 6 inches?
That was 6.5. That's
Oh,
what
well.
the person's saying.
I'm cutting 6. I'm not going to cut anymore. See, that's where I mess up on stuff all the time. But there's 3 and 2 more. I thought you told me 6 inches.
No, we said 6.5.
Oh, whatever. There's
Ladies
6 inches.
correct.
Oh, well. It'll be almost a square quilt. By the time I'm done quilting it, it'll be square, though. Because that's what happens. It shrinks when long arm quilting. And one more. This is why you're supposed to measure twice and cut once. Because of me doing stuff like this. But that's okay. I have lots of oopsies. So it'll be 90.5 by 88, 89. It'll be 88. Oh, I'm done with that. Go over there. All right. Stay. Now I'm just going to go ahead and hook 2 together and then hook half of one to another. And yes, the selvages are on. Still, I'll cut it off when I'm done sewing this seam because I don't want the selvage in there in my seam. And I backstitch these because they're going to be on the edge, so I backstitch. Grab these 2. Line them up. I make lots of mistakes in my quilts, if you guys haven't noticed now. So even I have issues. Everybody's always saying, it looks so perfect. It's really not. What you see on camera is deceiving. The camera lies. I do my best is what I do, and that's what you should be doing. All right, so I'm going to cut the selvage away because I don't want it in my quilt. No, because I'm going to be putting these on. All right, now I'm going to take the selvage off this side right here, and I'm going to attach this to it by taking the selvage off and cutting it in the middle. Actually, I don't even need to take the selvage off just yet. I just need to cut it in the middle. We're going to hook this to this side. I'm going to straighten it up because that's what I do. Sew it together with a 1/4-inch seam now. And I'm still back stitching. I'm just going to leave that on there and grab this one and do the same thing. Notice I don't do anything super accurately. I just kind of wing it. I do lay my pieces on top of each other properly, and I do line up the ruler with stuff. So that's about as accurate as we're going to get. Pushed my my drive foot over. All right, I'm going to cut the selvage off of these two ends real quick and then attach it to the quilt. Oops. And this one. Here we go. Last and final borders, and I will have a finished quilt top. I'm going to start with this one. This one, doesn't matter which one, any one will work.
What breed is Thumper?
Thumper is what we thought was a snowshoe for many, many, many years. Have recently come to development that he's most likely a mitted ragdoll. He's 11 years old this year, and we've changed his breed because we're not 100% sure. He, like I said before in other videos, he's got the characteristics of the snowshoe, like lots of his face features, the way his eyes are, the way his hind legs are, all of that of a snowshoe, but his hair and all that other stuff, even though it's the same as a snowshoe, is also the same as a mitted ragdoll. So he's probably both. Who knows? He's a little bit of just a crazy kitty is what he is. All right, so I'm going to sew these on. Let's lift the weight of this off. There we go. That way nothing's yanking. Put it on my lap. What?
Somebody said Thumper's cute and fluffy. That's what he is.
Yes, cute and fluffy. And mildly annoying with his licking. And meowing now. He never meowed. He was the quietest cat for the first 10 years. And this year, all of a sudden, just meow, 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 constantly.
It was slowly but surely he did go stop.
Like, he just has more to complain about now. And no, I did not pin my border on, and no, it will not be wavy. Some people ask me that. Don't you get wavy borders? Actually, I don't. Because I don't yank or pull on anything to make a wave in my fabric. I just lay it on here. I adjust it the way it needs to be. I'm not pulling or anything. Now, I could imagine if you're pulling on the bottom and just laying the top on there, that it would make the top wavy, but I don't do that. I use my, as I adjust, I lay it on here like this, and I use my finger at that next point to hold it down as if it was a pin there, so. And if I did have a wavy border, guess what? I'm my own long armor, so I just know how to fix it too. Maybe sewing fast is why. I don't know. It's just, they're not wavy. All right, coming up on the last of it. Once it's fully up here on my table, I just take the last of the strip, put it on top of itself, fold it exactly with the edge of the quilt, which is the other side. I fold it along the side up here and the side right there, which you can't even see, but I'm folding it. I make a crease, and then I cut it with scissors. Not the proper way to do it, but it's my way and it works for me. All right, let's do the opposite side. And then we'll measure it and see if my ½ inch smaller than it needed to be cuts made it a big deal or not. I threw it behind me, didn't I?
What are your tricks for fixing a wavy border well on the long arm?
When I'm on the long arm and I need to fix a wavy border, I do get them often with client quilts, and it's nobody's fault. It happens. Sometimes you can stretch that border out on your own just by saying, "Hey, everybody, look at my quilt." You can really stretch it out just doing that. So it wasn't the piecing that was the problem. It just gets wavy. My thing on the long arm is, depending on what I'm quilting on it, I create new seams. So say it was wavy right here, right? And I needed all this fullness to be in it, but I didn't want to lose my straight line here or any of that. What I'll do is I'll work in what my design is right here. I'll work that fabric in, and then I'll take a stitch and work the fabric in, take a stitch, work the fabric in. And then when I have that little final bubble left, I fold it over onto itself, and then I take a straight stitch over it to make it look like there was a seam there. So if it was a design, my design will have a stitch that crosses that exactly in the wave on the way out. If it was piano key borders, I obviously will make that part of it. It just depends on the wave and where it's going to land. But if it's landing next to a block, I work it in most of the time. Like if there was a block that was piece too big and it was made the border too wavy. I've also had it where the borders were too tight and the blocks were too wavy, were too big, because someone stretched and pulled to get it in there. And those, again, I just worked all that fabric in. What really helps is ironing. While it's on the long arm, when I get to those points, is a lot of steam. You just take a cordless, or it doesn't matter if it's cordless, but you just take an iron and you just steam the heck out of it until you can get it, and then use your fingers to move it around, steam the heck out of it, move your fingers around and get it to lay the way you want it to. And sometimes I force those creases in there purposely. If it lands on a seam from the block all the way out to the border, then I'll make a whole seam. It just depends on the quilt.
Have you ever tried machine piecing hexies?
Yes, I've machine pieced hexies. Hold on. Let me grab it because I know where it is. I found it this morning. Here was my little example. Machine pieced hexies. That was all done by machine. Nicely flat press seams, no puckering, nothing. That was how it's done on machine. And you can do small ones by machine. It's tedious. It's a lot of work, but you can make them lay super duper flat just by machine. And all these are still open so that I could add to them if I wanted to. But this was just an example of showing. Somebody asked me if it was possible. I said, heck yeah, it is. Anything's possible with the sewing machine. But I was looking through things this morning trying to find something, and that's where I found it, in the drawer. Yeah. So you asked on the day I found something. So I guess I must have found it knowing that someone was going to ask. Subconscious. Okay, come on. Lay on my lap better. Thank you.
Do you have a video on sewing the hexie?
No, I don't. I will have to, when I feel like sewing hexies again, I could make a little video, but I'm not going to make a whole entire hexie quilt. Because that's a lot of work, like I said. But yes, it can be done by machine. Now, I don't know about doing littler ones. Anything smaller than this the hexie was cut from a 2.5-inch square. So anything smaller than that, I would not do by machine. Because, again, tedious work. This quilt has been so much fun to put together. I love when an idea comes together, although the idea has changed or evolved. But my geese have gone wild, just like I had imagined in my head. And even though I don't like metallic or glittery fabric, it's definitely beautiful. I just love the colors because, well, I love the color purple. I'm very partial to the color purple. All right, I got my piece up here. I just need to line this on top of it. Roll it, make sure that it's right where it needs to sit. Everything's nice and square. And I'm going to cut it with a pair of scissors. Because that's how I do things. That's how I roll. All right, I'm going to press this back and we're going to see my final quilt. Look at that. Already almost done. It'll just need to be quilted when I get a chance. Got to add it to my pile. But you guys will eventually see it being quilted in a long arm quilting vlog video, since I am now vlogging my long arm quilting instead of just making long arm quilting videos on their own. I'm glad to have a huge ironing board too. That makes this process go so much better.
Are they special stickers? I think we're talking about the Juki tattoos again.
No, they're just vinyl stickers, I'm pretty sure. That's what they're called. You can put any sticker you want on your sewing machine, honestly. I wouldn't put paper scissors on it though, like the papery kind. I wouldn't put stickers that are papery.
What solid colored cotton do you prefer?
I like lots of different brands. I only do not color. I like black. I use black all the time. Black is my go-to color.
Solid color.
Solid. Yeah.
The color.
Yeah. I prefer the black. I like black fabric.
Well, you like all colors.
I like all colors though. I've made quilts with colors that you would be like, what? But it looks amazing.
Purple's your favorite.
Yeah, purple's my favorite, but I don't use it for quilts as much as my background color, I should say, because that's what you're talking about.
Yeah, the machine stickers, that's what we're talking about.
Yeah, the machine stickers, I'm pretty sure, just regular vinyl stickers. Almost done. Okay. Now I have a finished quilt top. You can unplug that now.
Okay. You want me to hold it in?
Yep, Scotty's gonna hold one side and I'll hold the other.
Okay. You're dragging it around?
I'm dragging it around because it's gonna have threads all over it because, yeah. So you can see the black, well, hold on. Gotta come down a little so they can see the black on the top and the bottom. So the top and the bottom have that big black strip. Then that way it kind of gives that gap. That's why I really wanted to do a big strip. It gives that gap, just like the gaps that are on the sides. And let's go up more, like this. And you can see my geese have gone wild. And again, that black across the bottom, right there, again, gives that whole look that they're floating, you know? So there is my quilt. Let's see what it measures at now. We already know the one side is 90.5, so I don't need to measure that. I just need to measure these two sides.
What's the difference between an accent fabric and the background fabric?
An accent fabric is if my geese were white instead. That would be my accent, you know. Background fabric is the background of everything, which on this is black. I'm not laid exactly, but
44 even, so 88.
So it is 88 by 90.5. Let's see what this side comes out to be, though.
Does it look as you imagined? Yes,
it looks better than I imagined. I love it. I want to keep it for myself, for my bed, but I have too many. It's going to go in my for sale quilts when it finally gets quilted.
Oh, I've been telling them there's all that.
Yeah.
2, 3 people.
If you guys didn't know, if you're new to my channel, I actually sell 90% of the projects I make here. 44.
44, so
Yep.
88 by 88.
So it's 88, no, it's 88 by 90.5.
Oh.
This was the sides, making sure both sides were the same.
Oh, okay.
Making sure my sides were exactly the same. And they are. Who needs, you know, but you could have pieced yours this way if you wanted. I don't like it that way. I wanted it this way. I like it this way. So that the black will hang down the side and all the fabric will be on a bed. I love it. I love it. I love it. And you want to know how much I like making flying geese units? All right, this is how much I love flying geese. You guys remember the crinkle cut pattern we did, what, 5 sew Sundays ago? So, 5 sew Sundays or so ago, I had leftovers from the crinkle cut quilt. So this is the crinkle cut quilt, if you guys remembered. I'm just going to hold up, you know, the side, whatever. This is that quilt. And I want to make it bigger, just a little bit, because somebody is interested in it. So I got this blue batik, which matches great to do a border around the front. But I like pieced backs. I love when you can just piece a back. So some of the pieced back is going to have this. These are just the leftover triangles. So the leftover half square triangles from this quilt right here, I put right here. So one block, and I'll surround it with the blue because that's going to be the backing fabric too. But the main part of the back, this is how much I love flying geese, guys. Look at this. Doesn't that look absolutely amazing? I just love that. That was the leftovers. And I turned it in to part of what's going to be in the back. And as you can see, the back fabric will go on the sides and top and bottom, and then that other block will go on it too. But that's just the last of the fabric. And I used it up to make that. That'll go in the back. I was going to put that in my vlog, and then I was like, well, that's not part of the long arm quilting part. So this is just me piecing the back little by little. But that's what I was working on last night. was like, I want to piece something. Let's make the back to this quilt. So I started on, piecing the back of the quilt. And I also have the binding fabric, which I'm going to need I'm probably going to combine these two for binding because I'm not going to have enough binding of that color. So there'll be a little bit of a pieced. But look at that. I'm getting stuff ready to long arm quilt. I'm trying to make sure all my backs are ready is what I'm really doing for all the quilts.
You've been working a lot here, yeah.
Yep. And I have to piece for the long arm. I need to piece, I was going to load on the long arm a humongous quilt that's 109, no. Yeah, 109 by 124. It's a king size. I'm not going to show you the quilts. You have to wait till that vlog video comes out. But I need more than 108-inch fabric. So I have to piece 108-inch fabric that needs to be longer because all my 108 cuts are 108 by 108. So, yeah, I need to piece it so that way I could have more. I need at least 3 inches. I'm comfortable with 2 or 3 inches as long as my red snappers can connect on the top and the bottom of the quilt. So I need at least 2 inches on each side for that. But for the side clamps, if I just need like 1.5 inches. If I'm not using rulers, I really cut it close for my own personal projects. But yeah, I got to piece some back for my enormous quilt that I want to load.
Why not make a pillow with the star block and only use the Flying Geese unit for its back?
I could do that too. I could make whatever I want with it.
Have you ever heard of backing with grid lines on it to guide your straight line quilting?
No, but I wouldn't want to use that. How do you guide straight line quilting if it's on the
So
back?
In other words, no, you haven't
So
heard
no,
of
I haven't heard of it. Yeah. Look at how much fuzz this picked up from the ground. I'm gonna have to de-thread this quilt.
How big was it again?
88 by 90.5. I forgot to put that other number. Oh, and this one's the Geese. That way I remember. Gone Wild. I'm going to show you guys how I store quilts until I long arm them. So what I do is I fold them. Usually I fold them wrong side out because my room gets dusty. But I'm going to fold this one right side out because it's probably going to get quilted sooner than later.
You use sheets for backing too?
Yes, I use sheets for backing too, yes. But a king size top sheet is only 112, I think, inches. So technically it's not big enough. All right. My top and bottom are matched. And then I fold it in half again on itself. Just like folding a sheet, honestly. Matching that up, and then I'll fold it, matching all 4 to the side right here. This is a long quilt, so it's folded in half twice because it's long. Oops, let's find it's open right there. And then I fold it in half again, like this. And this is my storage. I grab a hanger. It's best to use hangers that don't have that hook, that line right here, in that hold them together. I don't have any in here, but it's best to use an open hanger. I slide said quilt on hanger like this, and then I always take my little Post-it note, the quilt, and I pin it on here. Just like that, so that when I hang it up, I know. And then my little paper has room for me to write on it what color backing I was planning on getting, or what backing goes with it, because I have a ton, or whatever, which one I want to put with it, or if it has backing and it's hooked with it, or if there's extra fabric, which would be this. I don't need the black for it, but all these leftover strips are going to be the binding. And then I have all these little half square triangles. I'll probably just make a mini quilt with those, but I do have the binding, so I'm just going to write on here that I have the binding, and it'll just get hung with it. So I just take my strips and hang them on the hanger with it. Usually they go in a bag, but there's room on the hanger for it to just go right here. So I have binding and my quilt ready to just hang in the closet, which I'm going to hang in the closet because it's not needed now. All right, what else can I do while we're in here?
You want to show them my shirt and say all we're asking?
Show them what? Oh, didn't they just see you on camera 2 seconds ago with it on?
Maybe they did.
He's wearing his shirt that he made in the video.
Well, they all asked if I wore it to the gym.
Oh yeah, he wore it to the gym and it's been washed so it's shriveled back up. It's not all like yanked on from sewing it.
I washed it when it got home and I'm still wearing it all stinky.
Yep. Yep, he's wearing it. He's wearing his shirt. I'm gonna clean up all these scraps. This is what I usually do. I try to keep all this stuff cleaned up. I do have scrap bindings sitting here on my desk from all the things I've been working on. Stay tuned because tomorrow morning there will be a long arm quilting vlog video. And the reason for these color bindings. Aha, sneak peek, right? Are you curious? What else? That's it. That's all I have. I don't have anything else. I guess I can work on something else. What can I work on? I guess I could sew these.
I don't know what you can work on.
How long have I been on?
An hour.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah, so forth.
Oh, we're going to sew hourglass units with these. And then I'm just going to make them scrappy. So I'm just going to make little hourglass units. And I'm going to make them scrappy with my scraps. I do this all the time with my cutoffs. I either make half square triangles or I make hourglass units.
Do you know the size of the crinkle cut quilt?
The crinkle cut quilt it's on the hanger. It's 57 by 65, and I'm making it bigger by adding a little bit of a border to it because it needs to be just a little bit bigger. Just a little bit bigger.
Like he says, make a bag.
Make a bag. I could make a bag. What kind of bag can I make? I can make a little mini backpack. You guys want me to make a little mini backpack live? Show you how quick and easy it really is for those of you who are struggling with the video? Not really. Let me know before I get too far with these.
Did you show how to make 4 at a time flying geese?
4 at a time flying geese. Yeah, I could show that. What would you guys rather prefer to learn? 4 at a time flying geese or...
I think they want to see you make the bag.
Or the bag.
Most of them are saying the bag.
Okay. We can make the bag. It's actually really quick and easy.
Yeah, they want the bag.
Okay, we're going to make a little mini backpack bag. Oops. This can go in there with it. It doesn't take long, and it only takes 2 fat quarters, so let me go grab 2 coordinating fat quarters real quick, and I'll be right back. I got to go to my fabric room.
I will show them the shirt. I'll be back. That's why I said.
Oh, just go stand in front of the camera. He's going to stand behind the desk. His wonderful, lovely shirt. All right, let's find 2 coordinating fat quarters. How about this one? Ooh, that's pretty. With this one. Ooh, that's pretty too. Here we go. We'll use these 2. 2 fat quarters. Here, I'll show you guys what I chose out of my fat quarter bin. Don't ask me the fabric lines because I have no idea. If there's salvage on it, I'll tell you when I get over there. But those are the 2 fabrics I chose. And then I need my little backpack thingamabobber. And then I need my little zippers. Where's the zippers? I need a zipper to go with the blues. Whale, do I not have? Oh, that's not even a big enough zipper. Here we go, zipper right here. That will work. Here's a zipper. That'll work. Okay. I need some scrap batting. Oh, look at that. I have plenty of scrap batting.
How do I find out what night hours you go live?
I don't go live at night. I go live at 5 p.m. every Sunday, and then any other video that I upload or post is always posted. Like if I upload something, it always comes on at 6 o'clock in the morning. And then any other live streams are just random. I need to make sure that this is at least 11 inches. And it is plenty. All right, let me press these flat. And we're going to cut this up.
I think she meant for your... I will do that. I think she meant for your... I will do that, go. I think she meant for your insomniac quilting.
Oh, I don't do insomniac quilting series anymore. There's no selvage on either of these. Or there's a selvage, but there's no writing on it. So I don't know what these lines are. Can you plug it in?
We're over here for 2 minutes.
Oh, no.
I told you twice I would do it. Every time I told you, you kept saying down to do it. You should have just said, okay, and backed away.
All right. I have a zipper. I have that. I have that. What else do I need? Oh, that's it.
Tell me Insomniac series is on the thing. They can watch it whenever.
Yeah, the Insomniac series is on YouTube, though. You guys can watch those videos whenever. I had to find my directions sheet. So there is a video to cut out this shape, by the way, on how to make this shape for these little mini backpacks. And it also gives you all those measurements, but I'll tell you what I'm cutting because I always do. But this goes pretty quick. It's pretty quick sew. Well, for me it is. You know. Just making sure my fat quarters are as flat as I can get them. Okay. I'm going to line them up because I'm going to cut them at the same exact time for the first cut.
Where can they get the flag quilt pattern?
The flag quilt pattern is a video from July 3rd last year. So just type in the YouTube search bar July 3rd Tiffany's Quilting Life and it should pop up. All right, I'm going to make a nice straight cut here and then I'm going to cut an 11 by 15 and a half inch. Is that what I need? Yeah, 15 and a half by 11 for my first cut from both pieces. All right. We're going to cut over 11 inches. And then we're going to straighten this side. And we're going to cut up 15 inches. So from 1 to the 16. Talking to myself on that, by the way, guys. All right.
They noticed.
I'm going to move those out of the way for now. We're going to take these two pieces and some batting, because this is the outside and the inside of our bag. We'll take some batting and cut a piece that's this big. That's just my rough cut for now. I'm going to go ahead and cut it exactly to this size. That way my top and bottom lay on each other exact. It's really easy to do. Makes it easy for me to line my pieces up when quilting them real quick. So I'm going to quilt these two pieces together with the batting. So one piece is going to go on one side, and I'm going to iron both these pieces to each side like this. So one on each side of the batting, and I am going to iron them so that they stay nice and flat for the quilting process.
What length zipper do you
You need, I think it's a 14-inch zipper. Let me look real quick to make sure. Did I write on here zipper? Zipper? I don't know. I'll tell you right now. 14-inch zipper. That's what I use. Yep. You can just come up close to the desk. Camera's moving. All right. So my two pieces, while the camera is moving, are together, lined up, and all I'm going to do now is, now I'm just going to quilt them, and you can do that however you want to quilt them. So I'm going to go over here to the machine. Scott's not a very good cameraman on live stream, so, and not me neither, because of the wiggling and squirming.
Yes, I am. They asked me to move it. I'm moving it.
All right.
When I was at.
I'm going to go ahead and quilt this now. Oh, I don't want black thread. Let's change this out. Hold on 2 seconds. We're going to switch this out for white thread and white bobbin thread. And I'm not switching out to my walking foot. I'm just going to quilt without it. Getting the whole thread.
Have you decided when you're going to make a medium-sized one?
I have to figure out the numbers still for you guys. I've kind of been busy with other things, so making the bags was not on my top list of things to do, honestly. But if you make your fold and you have a printer scanner or whatever, you can actually draw it out and then scale it up size if you want. So say you have this cut out right here, you can scale this up size from your whatever you want. That, you know, if you drew it out on paper before cutting it and then scan it into your scanner and make it bigger, like plus 50% or plus 80%, it works the same no matter the size. This part will get bigger or smaller. That's the only thing I'm worried about, is this section right here. If you change the width, you're going to change a lot. Did I put the white bobbin in? I did. Yes, I did. All right. I'm just going to quilt straight lines. I'm also going to change the stitch length. It's that really tight. Let's go about right here. I don't know. I'm just going to quilt it. Let's come over about this far.
No zipper by the yard.
I haven't ordered. I have to order zipper by the yard, but you can use zipper by the yard. I don't have any. I need to order more. I've been neglecting one more here. And two more on this side. And yes, I'm doing this without marking anything. I think I tend to stay pretty straight. Although that piece did get a little off, but that's okay. Why? Because it's a bag. And some of this is going to get cut off anyway. Yes, I'm doing squares. All right, just a couple more. Yeah, a crosshatch, but the regular pillow way. Like squares. Cross squares. Crosshatch is, I think, on the diagonal is what it's considered. Just gonna go this way now. It's a square grid. That's what I'm making, is a grid. I'm judging it as best as I possibly can. You can quilt yours however you would like, but I have made a grid. Now to go over to the cutting mat, and we're going to cut our shape out. He's turning the camera. So you can either cut your shape out by using a rotary cutter, or you can use scissors, and you can pin your paper onto here and cut it out. So like you can just pin this on your template like this so that it'll stay. You can go right through your paper, just like this. We still have to cut all the other pieces too, but I'm prepping this. And that pin went through my finger. And then you just take your scissors and you cut along your paper or your template. It's there. Come on. Right there. There we go. No, it didn't get it. Little tiny pieces of fabric. Cut along the side. Cut right here. And just cut all the way around. I'm not like super perfect about this whole cutting thing. Oops, don't want to mess that up. As long as you're as close as you can get with your template. Try not to poke yourself when you have your template pinned like this, but you can use a rotary cutter too. I did in the video, the original video on this. This is just the size backpack that this make is just for like a little doll or a child or whatever you want to use it for. You can use it for makeup brushes or makeup stuff on the go, like when you're, going on vacation and you don't want to take a bunch of makeup because you're only going to be gone one weekend. I don't wear makeup, but if you do, you can stick your little makeup in it, your weekend's worth of makeup, because you don't need the whole case.
Is there a template for the backpack?
Yeah, you make it yourself from the video, from the original video. If one of my moderators is here and can go get a link to that video and put it in the chat, that would be great. Scott doesn't know how to do that kind of stuff. All right, so here's my template. Now we're going to cut out our other pieces. So it doesn't matter which side is the outside of the bag. If you want this to be the outside of the bag, make sure that that's the outside of the bag. Or if you want that to be the inside. All right, we're going to cut 2 inch by 4 inches of top holders. I'm trying to figure out where we are right here. 10.5 by 1.25. So my binding for the bag is going to be this one. So we're going to cut. Hold on, I got to look. 1 3/4 inch strips off of here. We're going to cut 2 of them. Where's my rotary cutter and my ruler right there? Oh, yeah. So my straps are going to be this one. No, this one. No, this one. I'm trying to think on this one, guys. I think my straps are going to be this one. So we're going to cut a 10.5 by 4.5 inch strap piece. So we're going to cut, not 4 inches, not 4.5. Sorry, I'm thinking of that 10.5 number. So we're going to cut up to about right here. We need 2 of them. So we're just going to do this whole strip at 4 inches. Like that. So this is going to be my strap pieces right here. Then we need trying to think, 1 2-inch by 4-inch top holder. So that would be this one, 2-inch by 4-inch, and a 2-inch by 2.5. I need 2 of those. So we're just going to cut 1 2 3 4 5 6.5 7 8 9 inches, 2-inch strip. I'm just going to cut a 2-inch strip off of here. Oh, wait. This would be accent. That's the outside of the bag. See, this is going to be the outside of the bag. Those are going to be the accent now. I just messed that up. Sorry, guys. So I just need this one then, 2 inches. You got to choose which one's accent and which one's not. And then we're going to do 4 inches, 2 inches by 4 inches. Just need 1 of those. And then I need 2 2.5-inch ones by 2 inch. 1 and 2. See, these are for my strap holders. And then interfaced accent. I'm not doing that. This is going to be 2 strips that are 1 3/4 off of here. This is going to be for my, what's the word for it? My binding on the inside of the bag. So 1 3/4. I need 2 1 3/4 inch strips. 1 and 2. So those are my binding strips. I'm just going to move those to the side. Still lining. I need 2 1 3/4 by 2 1/2. So we're going to cut. That comes off of this, off of the 16-inch ones. No, it does not. I have to remember, guys, I'm having brain farts. 2 1/2 by 1 3/4. So I need just 1 3/4 by 5. By 5, 1 3/4 by 5. There we go. And these are going to cut to 2 1/2 inch. Subcut, so those are for my binding. Then I need my outside of the bag, which is 1 1/4 inches by 10 1/2 from each of these. So there's 2 pieces here for both the top and the bottom for the lining and the outside. I need 1 1/4. I need 4 of these. 1 1/4. You could cut 3 inches or something if you want and split it, or not 3. Well, it's 1 1/4 and 1 1/4, Scotty. 2 1/2. That's the word.
You're adding them?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were subtracting. I was like, huh?
Nope. 3. You can cut a 2 1/2, 2 2.5 inch strips and cut them if you want, but I'm just doing it this way. For those.
Sorry,
Those are for the outside of the bag. These, I think, are my scraps. I need interfacing real quick.
What can I do?
I just need some scraps.
Grab it for you.
One. That's not a big enough scrap. We're just going to cut it from here. Okay, you need some interfacing? Yes, I hear you. For all of these, I'm just going to pre-cut these. Move that out of the way. I'm probably all over the place, and I'm probably confusing the heck out of everybody right now. That's why I suggest go watching the original video. All right. What side is straight? This side straight? Good enough. I need some 3 1 3/4 inch strips. I mean 1 1/4 inch strips. 1, 2, and 3. Even though I have 4 pieces, but one's going to be from the last of the other piece. That's why.
What's your 1/4 times what?
What do you mean? 1 1/4 and 1 1/4 is 2 1/2.
Okay. I don't know if that was a question.
No, I was talking to myself. I was hoping to talk to you, Scotty, with math, but
Yes, but the person asked
yeah.
the question. I don't know what the question was.
I'm going to go ahead and put interfacing on all of this. Oh, I need some more. I need 1, 2, 3, and 3, because the bottom piece would be enough. Let's cut
your
one
original
more.
video named for this bag?
Yes, it's a mini backpack video. It's just literally recently. It's like, I don't know, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, right?
June 24th.
June 24th, yes.
Karen said it earlier. June 24th. Mini backpack for
Yeah.
verbal visual pattern.
Yeah. Just go to my channel, go to videos, and you'll see it. There's a picture of a little backpack. All right, I'm going to interface all these pieces real quick. Which is making sure that the pokey side is up. Not down, because I don't want to glue this stuff to my ironing board. Like at all. That would not
Like
be
at all.
that would not be good. All right, I need a little pair of scissors. Why don't my little scissors are not over here no more? Oh, there's a pair. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nope, no D-rings. You can use little miniature D-rings. I, on the other hand, am not. But you can. I'm trying to make it quick, fast, in a hurry. That's why I'm all over the place, guys. This is me taking my time.
Okay. Did the surgery get rid of the pain?
My groin pain is still there, but most of the pain is gone unless I move the hip in a position that is not what it's supposed to be in. My hip doesn't move in all the positions that it could possibly, like a normal person can move, like before I had this surgery. It's still kind of limited, my range of motion. And when I overdo it, I definitely feel it, like a lot. All right, I'm putting the interfacing on.
Can I move the camera over there so I can see that?
Nope.
Why didn't you interface the whole thing instead of the strip?
Oh, you can interface the whole thing if you want. I don't have enough interfacing left. As you guys can see, this is all that's left. I need to get more of that too.
Well, no, just interface those.
Yeah. You can interface these and then cut them, yes, if you want to, but I just doing it this way, one at a time. I don't know, I guess I like to make things more challenging. But you can sure as heck do that, yes. And put this one on there. And last one. Yeah, I make things harder than it needs to be sometimes, just because I'm, you know. Trying to be efficient and not waste anything, I guess, is what I'm doing. There. The actual assembly of this thing goes so much quicker than what this is taking me right now. It's the prep work. All right, what we're going to do is to our zipper right here, we are going to sew one of these and one of these to each side. See, and I made more pieces than I needed to make. Look at that. What am I thinking? Because I'm trying to do this in a hurry and I'm not reading my directions, but I can make something else with those, so I guess it's okay. All right, one of these to each side of here. So what I'm going to do is just going to put these right sides together with the zipper in between. And I want my zipper, so whatever, oh, I can't even show the camera, that's not facing me.
They can see the side.
Okay.
They can see these two.
Oh.
Do you want me to turn it over?
Yes, please.
What interfacing are you using?
Pelon 911. No, this one's SF101, I think. So I'm going to take the one that I want to be the outside. So if this, so far, this is now my outside fabric. This is now my accent fabric. Whatever one I want to be on the outside, that is the fabric that I am putting with the zipper side. This is an invisible zipper. So the side of the zipper that this is going to be on is where that goes. And I am not even going to pin this. I'm just going to sew the three of these together. I'm going to come down a little bit on the zipper though, because this is an invisible zipper and I don't get much space to work with. There we go. I'm just going to line these three up and sew them together. And it would be best if I had a better stitch length. And when this is together, it should end up, we need to trim it down to 2.5 by 10.5. So once they are together, just press it back. So this you can use your finger presser for. Or the iron, however you want. I'm using a nylon zipper, so it's really easy to work with.
You want me to iron it?
Nope. And then press the other side on the back side. And then I'm going to go ahead and top stitch it. Right here, 1/8 of an inch from the edge, which is how you top stitch a zipper. And for measures, because I want to keep this closed, I'm sewing along the edge to seal this shut. So I sealed that side shut. And now I'm going to go ahead and repeat the process of adding this to one side and this to the other side of the zipper. Again, I'm just holding them in place, just using no pins, no clips or anything. Just putting it on here and sewing it, lining it up and sewing it. Making a sandwich of these 3 pieces. The zipper, the outside, and the inside. I'm going to finger press it back. Flip it to the other side, press it back. And then I'm going to top stitch. And then I'm going to seal it shut. I'm also going to go ahead and move my zipper now into here, hold it shut, and I'm going to sew it shut because I want one side to at least be sewn shut. And we're going to trim this to the size it needs to be, which is 10.5 inches.
Can you read the directions below before you get off?
I'll put a link to the other video where the directions are.
Oh, so you have them in a video?
Yes,
Oh,
the directions are in the video, sizes and everything.
Okay.
I'm going to go ahead and straighten this up, and we're going to cut it to 10.5 inches.
Is that the same video everybody was saying earlier?
Yes.
Mini bag?
Yes.
Okay.
So I cut that end off, and we're going to come over 10.5 inches and cut this. I'm just going to pull the zipper here. 10.5. And I'm going to make a cut. Just like that. And now it should be the exact size we need it to be, which is this size right here. So that goes to that. Now we need our strap pieces. Where did those go? Right here. Here is our strap pieces. So I'm going to go ahead now and press this whole unit in half. So Scott, if you would turn the camera again so they can see right here. Oh, okay. So I'm going to press this whole thing in half. It's 4 inches by the width of the fat quarter. I'm going to go ahead and press it in half, open it up, and then press the 2 sides in, and then fold the whole thing in half, and then I'm going to stitch it. And then there's these 2 other pieces that are 2.5 by 2 inches and 2 inches by 4 inches. These are going to be the little hook tabs and your straps. So I'm going to fold these exactly the same as I'm doing this big one, so be very careful because they are small. So I'm going to do that at the iron real quick. Just takes just a second. The littler pieces are a little on the harder side because they are small.
Do you always use an invisible zipper for this little bag?
No, I do not always use an invisible zipper. That's just all I have left is invisible zippers, unfortunately. When we bought zippers a while back, Scott and I, we accidentally bought invisible zippers. It was supposed to be regular zippers, and they were invisible ones when they got here. So we checked the ad, and it said further down where we didn't see that they were invisible zippers. So I'm just trying to use them up.
Well, I buy a lot on eBay.
Yeah.
That happens.
Yeah, he buys on eBay and stuff like that for me. And sometimes there's accidents when it comes to purchases. Like once he bought Zippery by the yard, and it was supposed to be size 5, and it turned out to be size 8. And it's for making like duffel bags and suitcases and stuff. It's huge zipper.
I get you stuff that's on sale. I get you deals.
Yeah.
Sometimes it works out. Sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah. Sometimes it's good. Sometimes it's not. Okay, and this one, and then the strap, which is really easy to do. Okay, and my strap. Straps plural because both straps are made from the one piece. And you can interface the straps if you want, but they're best to be a little bit more pliable, just the fabric on its own. I mean, it is 4 layers of fabric, so it's actually a pretty thick straps all on their own for just a little. I mean, this is, again, for children, makeup, whatever you want to use it for, candy. Just give it to your grandkid to put their little tiny toys in. I mean, it's really not needed to have interfacing on all this stuff. All right, so here's our little pieces. We're going to sew these now. So I'm going to go ahead and start from sealing this end shut. I'm just going to do a bigger stitch length. I'm going to sew along the edge very carefully. This is making both the straps at the same time. And while that's there, I'm going to go ahead and seal these little tiny ones up too on the one side, and then we'll turn it all around and sew the opposite. I'm just going to turn them around, sew down the other side. No, I thought it was out of bobbin. Guess not. I do need snips somewhere around here. All right, now snip all these apart. These are exactly the size they already need to be, all these little hooks and stuff. And then these are the straps, and there's selvage on here. All I'm going to do is fold the whole entire thing in half, like this. Scissors, can I have the scissors from the ironing board?
Of course.
The whole thing is folded in half. I'm just going to cut the selvage off and straighten the one edge. And then while it's folded, I'm just going to go to this other side, go in the middle of the two and snip it and have 2 equal units. Those are my 2 straps. We're going to grab our unit here, and we're going to hook all the straps and the longer of those pieces. So the 2 small ones are going to go on the sides, and then the bigger one goes in the center. But we're going to do the strap part first. So I'm going to go ahead and put this piece here. I'm just going to grab a big clip. We're going to center it. And then we're going to grab this strap and this strap and lay these right here, and I'm going to sew from one side to the other. That's as center as it's going to get. Let me move it over just a little bit more. Just a little bit right there. I'm going to sew the 3 of these on here now. Lots of back stitching. I'm going to go over it one more time because that's what I do. Now, without folding anything, I'm just going to line this up to here about 1/8 of an inch up on both sides. Like this, and I'm going to sew those 2 sides down with about 1/8 of an inch seam for now. Go to this one. It's about 1/8 of an inch up from the, the little fold right there. So now the straps are on this. Now we're going to take these 2 pieces and this unit right here. So this is the outside of the bag, right? This unit right here is the outside of the bag. The accent color is the outside of the bag. We want to make sure that the zipper is on, well, in the middle to start. You want that. Well, actually, it doesn't have to be. It doesn't matter on that. I want to make sure that it's right sides together, but my zipper unzips from this side. When the straps are above me, I want it from this side, because when they're together, I'm just going to hook this together so you can see. When your bag is flipped out like this, you want your zipper to come from the left to the right, if that makes any sense at all. So I'm going to go ahead and put that on there, but I'm also going to lay my little tiny strap pieces in the center. You can actually center them by putting them in the zipper like this, right here. Lay it on there. And then I'm going to give it a top stitch. Just 1/8 of an inch stitch for now. I'm going to go ahead and repeat that by folding this little piece in half, laying it right here with the zipper, lay it together, and top stitch across. We're just going to make sure real quick that our bag is going to be the correct direction by doing this. Flip it out real quick and make sure that your zipper is coming from the correct side, because you don't want it to come from this side that's opposite. That would make the backpack straps forward, if that makes any sense. You want to be able to pull with your right hand to undo your zipper. All right, now that that's on there, we're going to put our binding pieces now on these 2 sides right here, wherever they went. Those are the bigger binding. Oh, there they are, right here. So my little binding pieces right here, they are 2.5 by 2 inches, or 1 3/4, right? Ooh, they aren't. They aren't the size I need them to be. 1 3/4 by 2.5. That's what I said, right? Maybe it's because I did something wrong. 1 3/4 by 1 2.5. Oh, okay. Well, what did I do wrong? I didn't do anything wrong. That side just overhangs a tiny tad. Doesn't matter because it's going to be bound anyway. So I'm going to hook my binding on here by one side with a 1/4 inch seam. I'm going to go to the other one and put it on here. 1/4 inch seam. Now I'm going to wrap my binding to the other side. So I'm going to fold it up to the line right here. Fold it into itself right here. And then onto itself right here. And I'm going to top stitch that on there with 1/8 of an inch seam. It's a lot of layers. Make sure that your machine can sew through this many layers. Again, I'm folding it right here and then onto itself. Oops, folding it to the line and onto itself and top stitching on that right there, on that folded edge. All right, now it's time to attach this whole thing, and this is where we use actual clips now. Because if not, it doesn't get straight. So you could have notched the center of this to start in the center of this, but I really don't think it's necessary, honestly. Just watch what I'm saying. Grab my my clips, and I'm going to go ahead and just come to this end right here. I'm going to put a clip there. And then I'm going to put a second clip right here on this one. And then I'm going to go to this opposite side right here. I'm going to put a clip at this end and a clip above it right here. Oh, come on. Get on there. And then all I'm doing is really walking this together. They meet right up. It's the exact size it needs to be. So I'm just literally walking them together. There was really no need to find a center because see, it's matching right up. Oops, I forgot to trim these little pieces away right here though from the strap. This little corners because that was a straight line and the other part wasn't. So I'm literally just walking this around the curve. And it meets right up. There's no bulging or wrinkling. It's just exactly the right size. And I just flung a clip. Did you guys see that? I couldn't do that twice if I tried. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and stitch from right here all the way around this fold to this side. And then we're going to repeat that by clipping this other side too, which you can clip that now if you want. Honestly, it doesn't really matter. We'll go ahead and clip it now because I'm right here and I got the clips and I'm talking about it. So might as well. Just walking them to each other. And it fits perfectly.
Don't forget to open the zipper.
The zipper is open.
Yep.
The zipper is open. And like 2 more clips right here. And other than the one I flung, I have exactly the right amount I need. So now I'm just going to go ahead and stitch around this one and then flip it and do the other one. So just going to kind of push everything out of the way and I'm going to stitch it with a 1/4 inch seam allowance. I'm going to do it without a guide, I guess. I'm going to change my stitch length because I don't even know where my seam guide is. Oh, there it is. Found it.
You need me to get you one?
Nope, it's right here. Oh, you know what? There's no point. Let's just do it without. I'm getting good at this.
Oh, from the shirt the other day. Now you're like pro.
Yeah.
Super pro.
I'm just moving my clips as I go and adjusting everything nice and flat as I go. Going around that curve, keeping my 1/4 inch seam. Making sure my needle is down every time I adjust something. You definitely don't want your needle up because if you accidentally pull, then you're just going to pull the whole project away. Still going around. Okay. One side sewn. Now to do the other side.
Look at you. Go speedy. You're doing good, my love. You're doing good.
I want to do it like this. Okay. I backstitch at the bottom, obviously. Again, it's a lot of layers. You definitely don't want to try this with foam unless you're using like a industrial machine. Then I would say try it with foam, but these bags hold themselves up pretty good without all that. Just adjusting the bag as I go. Open that zipper a little bit more. Well, I guess I can't. I guess I have to just work with this. Took my clip off too soon. There we go. That works. Oh, yeah, I'm done with it. Okay, so now that's sewn. The last thing we need to do is bind it. But before I bind it, I'm going to open the bag up and make sure everything is copacetic. Because we definitely don't want it to be wrong. So we're going to make sure everything's correct before I bind the project on the inside. Everything's good. I'm going to zip it up. You can see the little tabs. You could have put D-rings on here if you wanted. Just little ones, or a D-ring up on the top of that as well if you would have wanted. The sky's the limits on decorating these little things, but I mean, too much just makes it too heavy, and it's meant for the little animals or toys and dolls and your grandkids to, have. The binding is also going to, right now, once I bind it, it's also going to make it a little bit more stiff. So we're going to go ahead now and attach the binding. I'm going to flip it back inside out. And this part is the part that everybody said in the comments. A lot of people were saying they were struggling with binding it. I'm just going to go ahead and stick this one side. I'm going to fold the end of it right here. So my binding is 1 3/4 by the width of the fabric. That, it was a fat quarter. Just going to go ahead and stitch my 1/4 inch seam again. And I'm just going to walk it around the curve. You can pre-clip it on if you want, but I'm doing everything without clips today, it seems. I'm just, doing a good job of making a mess is what I'm doing. Just following that same exact seam all the way around, honestly. It's a little finicky, and like I already said in the video, arthritic fingers makes this a little bit challenging, and I know because I have arthritis in my hands. But if I can do it, you can do it. Some of the machines is what I'm worried about, is certain kinds of sewing machines because of all these layers. Because once we flip this binding, it's even more layers. All right, and I'm going to cut this now at the end about, I don't know, 1/4 inch further than it needs to be. I'm going to fold that corner in and sew it like that. And then all we're going to do is roll that binding in to itself like this. So you're just rolling it into that line that where you made right here. And then I'm trying to get this to stay. I didn't press it. I finger pressed it. So just going to fold it in onto itself and then over like that. So folding it onto itself and then over. And this is the part that clips do come in handy. So you would just fold it to the line and over. To the line and over. And it fits perfectly. Just a perfect size piece of binding. To the line, over. I just roll it in my fingers until it touches the sewing line. That's what I'm talking about, is the sewing line, by the way, when I say to the line and over. And again, just put some clips on it all the way around. And one more right here. And then all I'm going to do is, I know that this is 1/4 inch on this side, not the side that I folded in. That way I can keep that accurate seam all the way, and I'm not taking an even wider seam out of this front section. Grab that clip that flung earlier. So I'm going to sew in the ditch from this front side, and it should grab it all the way around. And I'm just going to make my stitch length bigger so that it goes a little bit faster. Because it's just the binding on the inside. staying in that ditch. Again, I'm just folding all the little pieces. You have to fold everything out of the way. Staying in that ditch. And I checked to make sure it grabbed all the way around, and it missed right here. Right there, just ever so slightly. So I'm going to sew from that side. That's the only part that missed, was right there. I'm going to literally just stitch it from this side because it's no big deal. It's just a little tiny section. I'm telling you, my projects are not, they are far from perfect, you guys. I make messes, I do things funky. If I miss something, I go back over it. So I'm not a perfectionist. I really honestly don't care what, as long as it stays together and it doesn't fall apart, that is the goal. And it's going to get well loved and used. So there's one side of the binding on. You can see it caught it now the rest of the way around like it's supposed to. Now to repeat to the other side. So again, I'm just folding one end in and making a crease. And it's about 16 inches from one side to the other. So you could pre-cut this if you wanted to the size you need, but honestly, I don't see the need to. All right, I'm going to go ahead and stitch this on with a 1/4 inch seam. Same seam that I used to stitch it in the first place.
What age group?
I would say for, you know, if I had grandkids, I would give this to a 13-year-old grandkid, you know, because they wear makeup at 13 years old or whatever. My daughter wants one. My soon to be 21-year-old daughter wants one for her birthday. So, I mean, I would say any age group, even an adult would probably like this. What if someone's going to the nursing home or something and she needs something to keep her toothbrush and toothpaste in? I mean, these would be great for anybody, any age, honestly. Highly recommend, though, for grandkids and their dolls. Because I saw a picture earlier on Facebook of someone who made one for a little teddy bear, and it was so adorable. I didn't have no animals to stick mine on, so I don't know what it would look like. But it was super cute.
Could you iron the strip in half and sew like a quilt binding?
Yeah, you could sew it like regular binding and just clip it on without having to do this. Yeah, you can use bias tape too if you want, because it is a curve. So if you had bias tape, just put it over it and then stitch it down. That would work too, perfectly. I'm just doing it this way because I'm trying to use the same. The whole point of this was I used 2 fat quarters to make this. That's it. 2 fat quarters makes this little bag. I mean, that's definitely awesome right there in itself. And I forgot to, oh well, I'm just going to do this my way. Oh well, it happens. That was not supposed to end up that way, but it did. I forgot to put my fold in the end, guys. Like I said, nothing is perfect when I'm on my live streams. I mess a lot of stuff up.
You could put it on Thumper.
Yeah, we could put it on Thumper. It would probably fit on him. He would hate us and lay down and meow, but, you know, that's just because he's a weird cat. We tried dressing him up before. He had a little bumblebee costume. He hated it. He just laid there. He would not move. He would not move. It was like he was paralyzed.
Yes.
It was the weirdest thing. And I've seen cats with outfits on TV and on Instagram and all over YouTube world and the videos and stuff. But no, Thumper, you can't dress him. We had a little security outfit for him. Again, he was paralyzed. He just doesn't move. I don't know what it is. He just doesn't like clothes. He doesn't want to be dressed. He likes to be the short-haired, naked cat.
Wants to be free like Daddy.
Yeah.
Run around all free.
See what happens? My magnetic seam guide gets stuck to my zippers, my scissors. So I'm trying to clip a loose thread here. Or stray thread, whatever, same thing. And one more clip right there. And now to stitch this one on. So I'm just going to stitch in the ditch. Get it on there. And then my bag will be complete. All right, here we go. See, if you were not to sew fast and take your time, you'd probably get it better than me, you know, but I have a problem with speed. I don't do it in the car anymore. I used to drive fast on my motorcycle and every now and then in the car, but now I just drive slow everywhere, like the normal speed limit. Oh, but here, there is no speed limit for me in here. All right, let's make sure that it grabbed it. Grabbed it, grabbed it, grabbed it, grabbed it, grabbed it, grabbed it. All the way around. Yay. Now I'm going to get rid of all these loose stray threads everywhere. All right, now you're going to see that the binding actually helps it stand up even more better. It stands better. Just roll this around. It's so cute. I definitely wanted the other color to be the outside color and the blue to be the accent, but hey, guess what? You get what you get and you don't throw a fit. Right?
You get what you get. You know, I like that.
Yeah. All right, let's close my little baggie. And there we have my little miniature backpack.
It's awesome.
How long did that take me?
An hour. 7:10.
Oh, look at that. See? In an hour, you can have it done if you sew like me and are sloppy. If you take your time, then it'll be done in like less than 2. I could say for anybody, I'm pretty sure this is a less than 2-hour project. It's 2 fat quarters and it's super easy to do and it's super cute. And you can just like put it on an animal or whatever, or a child's back, or no, not their back, but their arm. Just put it on their arm and they can fill it with candy.
Do you have these in your shop for purchase?
No, I do not have these in my shop for purchase. I have not sat down to make a ton of them. I'm kind of, been busy doing other things, but whenever I get a chance, I make one when I feel like it. A couple have already went out, so they're getting made little by little. And then what's left over from my fat quarter is all this right here. So, I mean, and I don't know what to use all these for that I've been stockpiling them.
16-inch doll?
I don't have a 16-inch doll.
How big is that?
Huh?
How big is that?
My Jenny doll?
Yeah.
I don't know, yeah, 16 inches-ish.
Well,
Go grab her.
model her. You got those spiders in her hair?
Nope. All right, so all of my little leftover pieces, look at that. It goes so quick, so easy. Barely any scrap left. You just use scrap batting to create it, It's super cute. All right, he's going to go grab my doll that I've had since the 80s, so don't mind how horrid this thing looks. Actually, it looks pretty good for being a 1980s doll. This is my Jenny doll. If you guys are from my era, you would remember this doll from the 80s. This is my Jenny workout doll. She was a cheerleader or a workout doll. But I don't have any actual dolls. But if it's her and she's tall, if her arms weren't as saggy as they are, because she's old, but it fits her. So she has her little backpack on. I'm going to go to school. I need my hair did. It looks like caca.
Okay.
She's old, but she's a collector's item because guess what? I bet you nobody else has one of these. Yep. This is what I played with when I was a kid. So there we go. It fits her though. So if you guys have tall dolls, I'm pretty sure to fit it.
She creeped out our daughters.
Yeah, this used to creep my kids out like a lot.
Yeah. It's creepy.
She actually sits on a shelf and stares at us.
Yes, very creepy.
But anyways, all right. So that's it. Look at that. In an hour, you can make yourself a little backpack to go for your grandkids' little dollies. I don't know about dollies with as floppy arms as this doll, but I mean, you know, it works. It fits. And you put candy or whatever you want in it. So there we have it. I'm going to get off of here, though, now. I've completed 2 things. I got my quilt done. So if you missed that, check out the beginning of the video and watch all the videos. I'll put the links to the other 2 videos in the description below this one. And I'll also put a link to this backpack with the actual directions and the proper cutting stuff. And there she goes. She's falling. She says, this backpack's too heavy for me. Why are you making me go to school like this? So much. Okay, sorry. Anyways, thank you guys all for watching and hanging out today while we did more than one thing in the video. So I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. There's a video and whenever else this week. And I'll see you next week on So Sunday. Bye, everybody.
Good night.